Was that his last show ever?
It really was, because at the end of the evening, we all went out and got in the helicopters. And,
including you?
Yep. And the weather was horrible. It was extremely foggy. It was just terrible, and everybody had their... I flew up with Clapton and was supposed to fly back with Clapton, but when we got out to the loading zone, Eric's manager said, just everybody get in one, because we got to get out of here. The weather's getting bad. And I was about to step in. When I went to get in with Eric, the copter was full. So we'll get in another one. So I was stepping into another one, and just at the last moment, Eric says, hey, you know what? Let's not get separated because our hotel's over here. I think maybe you should come with me. So he took a gentleman off of his helicopter to make room for me. I got in with Eric, and the other guy then stepped into the copter with Stevie, and you know the rest. I mean, we were the fourth helicopter. I watched the other three take off, disappear into the fog immediately, and it was very frightening.
Eric Clapton saved your life.
Well, perhaps, or the angels. Not meant to be. That's written somewhere else.
You've had a career in blues that not very many people that I have met has had.
I'm very lucky and fortunate. But I studied very hard on that. I never took any lessons to learn. I just learned from those old blues records, growing up listening to B.B. King and Wilson Pickett and Curtis Mayfield. I think it has something to do with that I grew up in a black neighborhood, so James Brown, all that stuff, I was listening to that stuff all the time. So I schooled myself on that, and fortunately people appreciated what I was playing, so I got a lot of calls to do that. And some of the people that called me, when I think back on it, I learned from the masters, John Lee Hooker, Albert Collins. I actually played with these people on stage as a young white kid with long hair, but they enjoyed my playing, so I got in. So I feel very blessed by that.
And they were probably really surprised.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because at first they weren't letting me play. I would go down and hang out at these clubs, but nobody would let me. There was sort of a color barrier. They didn't want the white guy to play. But once they heard me play, it was okay, and I kept on getting these calls, and the range from Hubert Sumlin was a dear friend of mine, played with him a lot. James Cotton, Junior Wells I played with a lot. Albert Collins, the list goes. Willie Dixon I even played with. Played with Stevie a few times. That was pretty cool. And one of the big ones for me was Buddy Guy was looking for a bass player and had heard that I was playing with Otis Rush. Set up this gig for me to go play with Junior Wells at a club on the west side. They said, Buddy's coming to listen to you play. Wow. And we finished the first set, and I walked off the stage, and Buddy's manager said, I want to introduce you to Buddy. Buddy, this is Greg. Buddy said, I like the way you play, man. The gig is yours.
Wow.
So I got the gig with Buddy Guy and played with him for 13 years. And when I first got with him, it was still the Buddy Guy Junior Wells Band, which was an incredible period. And then they separated, and that's when we recorded Damn Right I Got the Blues and Feels Like Rain and Slipping In and all that, and Buddy's career took off at that point. So that was a special time for me, Buddy Guy. We had a lot of fun playing together for the joy of playing. When I first started with Buddy, we were driving around in a van setting up our own amps.
Wow, Buddy, like at the beginning of his kind of career.
Yeah, it hadn't taken off yet, and then when it clicked, then suddenly there was crews and buses, and
Right.
So
right. And then today is kind of iconic and legendary. I mean, you played today with John Mayall and Joe Walsh,
yeah.
Which is there's no higher echelon.
That's
currently any more than that. You're at it. Two
of the greats. First, Joe Walsh. I used to listen to James Gang and all that, Barnstorm, all that stuff when I was little, and I forced my mother to take me to a record store when I was 9 years old, and I bought Laurel Canyon and Turning Point. So I've been listening to John since I was 9.
Wow. Did you ever think you'd be able to record an album that he was on?
No, of course not. But John's a great guy. One of my musical mentors and heroes. It's a special relationship. Yeah, he's the roots of modern music